Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? I'm out here.
Why did Will Smith confront Chris Rock?
Wow.
Was it the marital issues between Will and Jada that finally made Will snap?
Wow, dude.
This question is hard to answer. However, looking at the interviews where Jada admits to a relationship with August Alsina, there's a lot that Will's had to take in and come to terms with. Even though, or maybe exactly because, he always seems to take things lightly, a lot of frustration and resentment could potentially have built up inside him. I'll look at how Jada describes her entanglement with August. I'll look at her word choice, which is manipulative. I'll also consider Will's reactions along the way. If you've missed my video about Will's speech, you can find the link in the description box below. If you find this video important, please press the like button and share the video. Also, if you're new, consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to leave a comment to let us all know what you notice in this interview. Let's dive in.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
As far as what?
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened.
Jada answers Will's encouragement with a question. In some context, answering with a question is simply to understand the other speaker's statements. In this case, however, there seems to be a lot more to it. Answering with a question shows that Jada is reluctant to answer, and it buys her more time to contemplate how to answer. This observation is in line with her next statement, where she tries to downplay what happened, making it sound like something Will should know by now.
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely.
She says that's what I said, appealing to how she's allegedly being honest and indirectly letting Will know that he should be able to remember and, more importantly, believe what she said. It's important to note that Jada is serious when she uses the word entanglement. It's only when Will starts laughing that she joins him in laughing. Will laughs because entanglement is an extreme euphemism for what Jada did. Even the word relationship that Will comes up with is a euphemism. So initially, she actually thinks she can get away with using this distancing noun. When she finds out she can't, she parrots Will's word relationship, as if entanglement and relationship are one and the same, and as if she's unashamed by admitting this. However, by starting with the euphemism entanglement instead of relationship, she unwillingly showed that she found a more truthful word like relationship problematic for her agenda with this interview. Next, she uses pathos, appeal to emotion and pity. As a quick side note, emotional arguments are more and more common in today's society. Everywhere on social media, there's someone with a sad story meant to excuse the things they've done, or meant to persuade someone about something. Influencers know this, and companies know this. Emotional narratives often work, and this is exactly the point in narrative theory. It's about eliciting a strong emotional reaction in order to create identification. If you want to see more about emotional manipulation, check this video. Link is in the description box below.
I was in a lot of pain, and I was very broken. Now, in the process of that relationship, I definitely realized that you can't find happiness outside of yourself.
In statement analysis, it's recognized that many people will appear weaker and criticize themselves in order to portray themselves in a more favorable light when they know they've messed up. It's a strategy they will turn on and off in order to manipulate the person they're sitting across whenever it's convenient. Jada now uses the word relationship as if this is the only word they've discussed. However, we should still note that initially she didn't choose this word. With
you can't find happiness outside of yourself,
she now makes it about her personal happiness, and she again glorifies what she did. Also, we should note that this is a very simple lesson, that you don't need this kind of relationship to find out. especially not when you're Jada's age.
And luckily enough, you and I were also going through a process of healing in a much different manner. I would definitely say we did everything that we could to get away from each other, only to realize that that wasn't possible.
This is association. Association is when a speaker pretends that they weren't alone in feeling or thinking a certain way. Here, Jada associates with Will, as if they were both doing everything they could to get away from each other. She even starts with the adverb luckily, as if there's anything lucky about what she did, and also to make what she did sound less bad.
So what happened, Jada?
Okay, so let's start with, I guess about 4.5 years ago.
Yeah,
I think it was about 4 years ago. Started a friendship with August. And we actually became really, really good friends. And it all started with him just needing some help. You know, me wanting to help his health, his mental state.
Because for me, that was the thing when Aug first came around, he was really sick.
He was really, really sick, yeah.
And the outpouring for him from our family was initially about his health.
Yeah. And I mean, we found all those different resources, you know, to help pull him through.
It takes time for Jada to initiate her answer. A common thing when people start their answers to questions that could potentially damage their agenda is that they're fixated on non-essentials. That's because they're reluctant to get to the essentials. Whether she started the relationship 4 years ago or 4.5 years ago is irrelevant, but she spends 10 seconds supposedly wondering about this. During these 10 seconds, she gets Will involved in her answer as well, again making her narrative seem like a collaborative effort.
And it all started with...
Notice how she lengthens the vowel sound in the conjunction with before making a micropause. This is Jada's way of prolonging her answer before she finds something she can use to make the situation sound simple. When she finds this simplification, she also starts increasing her speech rate.
Him just needing some help.
This is in contrast to the slow start, wondering whether it was 4 or 4.5 years ago.
4.5 years ago?
Obviously, she's more excited about uttering this simplification.
Him just needing some help.
The simplification is underlined by the adverb just. We then get a first glimpse of how Jada wants to portray herself as a helper.
Me wanting to help his health, his mental state.
And we should note that she uses excessive body language to express herself. This suggests that she's having trouble describing what she wanted to help August with. She's looking for which words to use. Will then supports her narrative by agreeing with the health part, and Jada immediately jumps in to emphasize how sick August was.
Really sick.
He was really, really sick, yeah.
And
this is her chance to underline the truthfulness of what she said about wanting to help August with his health.
And from there, you know, you and I were going through a very difficult time.
yeah,
And we decided...
I was done with you. I was done with you.
Yeah.
Marriages have that, though. Marriages have that.
Yeah, we basically, we broke up.
Jada uses association again, reminding Will, and more importantly, the audience, that they both played a role in this bad time. This way, she's not on her own with this relationship, linguistically that is. This is a self-protective strategy, saving face. You know is also an associating expression, presupposing shared knowledge between the two, and thus presupposing that she's merely telling a simple truth. With this generalization that marriages have that, Will again supports her narrative. However, it sounds more like a coping mechanism than a universal truth about marriages. Jada's self-protection continues as she emphasizes how, at that time, she and Will were over.
We decided that we were going to separate for a period of time, and you go figure out how to make yourself happy, and I'll figure out how to make myself happy.
Well, at that particular point in time, it was indefinite.
Yeah, I really felt like we could be over.
We were over.
Next, Jada's asked what she did, and what she did is so sensitive to her that she resorts to the euphemism entanglement. She also reduces her speech rate, which indicates that this is an uncomfortable subject.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, you know, I think From there, you know, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
It's interesting to note the phonetic emphasis on.
From there.
Implicitly, this emphasis draws attention to the alleged fact that it didn't start as an intimate relationship, but as a friendship with a really sick man, as she claimed. Starting a relationship as a friendship is a nicer way of formulating it. And this formulation has the potential to make the speaker feel better about what they did, even though there might not be anything good about what they did. And notice Jada's feel claim again.
Launched into an interaction with August. What do you feel like you were looking for?
I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good.
She hammers the point about wanting to feel good, which again is pathos. Pathos is not only about the words, but also the body language and the way the vowels are stressed.
Since I felt good.
Once again, she uses the adverb just, simplifying why she did what she did. However, in this context, just indicates the presence of another thought, something else she did it for. We know this because she continues with her helper narrative, giving another reason for her actions.
And it was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
Yeah.
Next, Jada uses another tactic that's very common nowadays when someone's trying to excuse their behavior, doing a pseudo-psychoanalysis of themselves. Suddenly, she's willing to point out the flaws she has. This falls under the category of self-criticism that I mentioned earlier. In a context like this, people largely criticize themselves for self-interest, to portray themselves in a more favorable light. Hiding behind psychological terms is also a way to convince oneself of the alleged reasons for one's actions, even though these reasons might not be true at all. They might feel true though, which is the point.
I think that has a lot to do with my codependency, which is another thing that I had to learn to break in this cycle of just that idea of needing to fix and being drawn to people that need help, whether it's your health or whether it's your addictions. There's something about that childhood trauma that feels as though it can be fixed through fixing people versus fixing me.
Yeah.
With words like learn and needed to fix, she almost turns this conversation into a therapy session centered around her personal development. She tries to make something negative sound positive in a very exaggerated fashion. However, she gets to mention all the right feel words like codependency and trauma. She says being drawn to people that need help. This is passive voice, removing agency from her. Instead, she's simply being drawn. Her agenda with this interview is underlined when she says she's grateful about this process, as she now calls it.
And I think that that whole process with Og really showed me that and taught me that. And I'm really grateful for that lesson.
Next, Will does what he seems to do best, refraining from disagreeing with Jada and loosening up the situation. We should note how Jada relieves her tension with almost exaggerated laughter.
Because I wasn't sure I was ever going to speak to you again.
I know.
Yeah, like the fact that I'm speaking to you again is a miracle.
I would agree.
No, but it ain't for the weak at heart. There's just certain things that you have to go through, and it's like...
And I wish, I wish that wasn't the case. I do. I wish that wasn't the case.
I sure wish it could be all magic and miracles.
Yeah. You got to go through some to get the answers,
With Will's coping mechanism, it's easy for Jada to agree with what he says.
And I wish, I wish that wasn't the case. I do. I wish that wasn't the case.
I sure wish.
This is an opportunity for her to hammer the narrative she's just told, and she seizes that opportunity. Jada continues associating with Will by saying you and I.
And I'm just happy because I definitely believe that you and I, we never, ever, ever thought that we would make it back.
Yeah, there's a real power in the just knowing somebody's riding with you no matter what.
Yeah.
And you really can't know that
until you go through
through some stuff, you know. I don't want to go through this no more.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
Yeah. I'm going to get you back first, and then...
You're going to get me back. I think you got me back. I think we're good on that, okay?
Okay, that's probably true.
You know, we ride together.
We die together.
Bad marriage for life.
Thank you for watching and subscribing to this channel. Check the links in the description. See you in the next video.